corner where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Welcome back to the show. Today is Wednesday. I gave y'all the slip yesterday, but I'm gonna get more consistent. I'm working on it. So, every once in a while it's a little touch and go. Did y'all miss me? I was only gone one day. But I appreciate everybody joining into the show tonight. If you would, hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on the other social media platforms. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to somebody who sent me something in the mail, and it was a wonderful, wonderful blessing. I appreciate what you did for me. Those that give in the super chat, those that send money through my Cash App and PayPal, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Somebody even sent me a notification that YouTube must have got caught slipping on one of my videos, y'all. I uploaded a pre-recorded video a couple weeks back, and I went and looked at it today. Somebody emailed me and said, look at your numbers, It was 657,000 views, y'all. 657,000 views and 657,077 views. How you like that? Now, that lets me know some shenanigans is going on. That's what that lets me know. You're going to let one video slide through and rack up all of those views? Yeah, I'm just wondering. Then all of a sudden, right back to the old everyday regular. But anyway, it is what it is. Every once in a while, they get caught slipping, and I benefit off of it. But I appreciate you guys staying on top of it and caring about it just as much as I do. And you can show that through just sharing the videos, liking my videos. If you ain't got nothing to do, just watch my videos. Go back through some of the archives. Catch your Kevin's Corner favorite moments or something like that. It's up to you. But anyway, with no further ado, if you guys can hear me, let's go ahead and get busy. That's right. I rock the planet, beating my chest like a... I rock the planet, beating my chest like a... Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, don't forget, I do have a Kevin's Corner store you can check out anytime you want. That number right there on the screen, 330-974-4607, is the number that if you text MAGA to, I'll lock you in. This way I have a way of contacting y'all just in case they realize their mistake on YouTube. Oh man, we let him have too many views. All right, we didn't show him how many subscribers he really has, did we? We didn't do that? Okay, cool. So he still thinks he only is stuck at 78, something like that? Man, I'm sweating. How you like that? You see all that water come off my bald head? Yeah, my Yul Brynner. My Lou Gossett Jr. Yeah, my Elmer Fudd. Dun, 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 it. Dun, 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 it. Yeah, a little sweat came off my Elmer Fudd. So anyway, if you text MAGA to that number, I'll keep you in the loop just in case something strange happens. And then I think that might be it before we get busy, y'all. So, guys, we got a little bit to talk about because tomorrow's the debate. It's the big day. Joe Biden's been prepping for it for 7 whole days. How you like that, y'all? 7 days. Man, I tell you, it's like a marathon. That man, he's working out like it's a marathon. Somebody said they're checking me out from the Netherlands. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody said live stream the debate. Let's see if I can do that. I'm working on it. But before I get into all of that, guys, I want to start with a little gloat party. Y'all know how I like to gloat sometimes. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Where's my party hat? There we go. Yeah. There we go. Little gloat party. I mean, it ain't often that I run across somebody who's so foul that when bad things happen to him, I gloat. Now, I ain't talking about nothing too serious. When it comes down to physical health, I don't want to see nobody get sick or get hurt or nothing like that. But there are certain things that I say, you know what, that falls in the gloat, category where I can go ahead and have a good time. And you know who I'm talking about, y'all? Struggling Jamal Bowman. You know him. Look at the data. You got to look at the data. That guy right there. Hopes to stave off a devastating loss for the left. He was part of the squad, y'all. He was part of the squad. All right, let's check out and see what happened to him. Tennessee in the house. Now, I wouldn't have his party hat on.
Campaigns have shelled out millions of dollars and bombarded potential voters with phone calls, flyers, political ads. But it all comes down to today.
Incumbent Democratic Congressmember Jamal Bowman.
So y'all see that dude? In this particular case, his milk didn't bring all the girls in the yard, and his light wasn't better than yours. That milk dud didn't work this time, y'all. It did not work this time. So let's see what happened to Milk Dud here.
Opting to generate last-minute votes in Co-op City, choosing to focus on turnout in the Bronx, a former middle school principal from the borough, and one of the most liberal members of Congress seeking his third term.
However, last year, you pled guilty to a misdemeanor for pulling the fire alarm before the House was to vote on a funding bill.
Yes, don't remind me.
Yeah, I bet you don't want to be reminded of that, because your butt should have been kicked out of Congress right then. So therefore, I don't want to be petty or anything, but na 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 boo boo, na 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 boo boo, na na boo boo, na na boo boo, na boo boo, na boo boo. So that dude right there who pulled the fire alarm and got busted and then lied about it. And for whatever reason, our weak behind Republicans didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing. They was too busy kicking George Santos out of Congress. While this dude, who obviously did this on purpose, just got away with it. Look at him.
I mean, you know.
Pulled down and said, pulled the sign down. That looked like it was all intentional. That just goes to show that he had a little bit of Democrat privilege, because anybody else would have got the hammer. So this guy pulled the sign down, then pulled the alarm. And I'm talking about he made sure that he pulled that mug like he was on the Price is Right, spinning that big wheel. Yeah, he wanted to make sure it went off.
You said you didn't intend to obstruct any proceedings, but you were still censured by the House.
Still lying.
Do you feel there is a disparity in treatment in Congress?
Yes, unfortunately, Republicans aren't serious about governing.
What? See, that's the stuff that makes me say, so I gloat. Yeah. So let's see what he talking about. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you come for you, bad boys? Look at that. You think he cared about all the folks that might have had to evacuate? Nah. Yeah. I wonder who told this dude to do that. I wonder who put him up to it. See, Democrats, they're pretty evil. They probably said, Jamal, I need you to go down there and do something to stop this mess. Pull the fire alarm. Don't worry about it. I know you might get caught, take some heat, but we got you. Ain't nobody gonna press no charges. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna let nobody kick you out of Congress. So all he got is censored. Big deal. However, it appears that the voters caught up with him. See, since the feds and all of that didn't do nothing to him and the Republicans didn't do nothing to him, seems like the voters caught up with him. Maybe they got tired of him always out there in the street like, you know what, you got the racism and sexism and the xenophobia. Maybe they got sick of that. Maybe some of these radical Democrats should learn a lesson from Milk Dud right there. It's not cool to be walking around like you are the angry black man. As he was in a debate with the guy who just smashed him. And when the guy brought up his behavior, he's, so now I'm the angry black man. The angry black man. And I'm going, Yeah, because I'm a black dude. Now I'm looking at you like, yeah, you're the angry black man. See, I mean, that's just calling it for what it is. You are an angry black man. Every conversation, every debate, he is, you know what? You got to. Nobody wants to talk to you like that. You're not going to get anything done. And I'm black. You come to me like that, I'm like, hey, man, take all that bass out your voice. Okay? Get out my face. The one dude from the Republican Party, when he was talking to him about gun legislation, all in his face, thumping his chest. But you got to look at the data. And this dude's like, all right, just could you calm down out there? He looked like the angry black man. And I'm thinking, yeah, he looks like the angry black man. Let's continue. And the criminal black man who pulled that alarm.
Unfortunately, Republicans aren't serious about governing.
They're not serious.
Think about that.
We gonna let them know how strong and powerful and mighty we are.
You see that dude out there trying to show off those nuns, not guns, nuns, out there, got the shirt rolled up. Now, he's not helping his case. Out there looking and sounding like, what? The angry black man. We're gonna show them who we are. got his sleeves rolled up like he's about to bust a grape, like he's about to go to war and fight somebody. Let's finish seeing his behavior and how it won over all the people, y'all.
Get big money out of politics.
Someone go get me a bar of soap. Please, hurry, post haste. I need some soap for that angry black man mouth.
We are going to show APAC.
Ooh. Now, see, you can't be out there with the big arms and the big stomach, too. Now, that's not a good look. Don't think that you're going to take away from that big gut hiding up under that big fat yellow canary shirt. Okay? Just because you got the guns out. Yeah, my eyes go straight to that gut like, what are you going to do about that, huh? Huh? You big Christmas ham? I would have him in the gym like this the whole time, hanging upside down by his feet. But look at the arms. You got to look at the arms. I'm be like, I don't want to look at the arms. I'm looking at that big jelly roll right there underneath that shirt. But you got to look at the
power of the South, bro. People ask me why I got a foul mouth.
Because you're the angry black man.
What am I supposed to do? You coming after me. I'm not supposed to fight back.
Who's coming after you? Far as I can see, it was the Democrats who came after you. I guess there is a point where you can be so angry, so radical in the Democrat Party where they say, all right, we got to get rid of this one. He's a loose cannon. And there's probably about 12 more that they need to get rid of. I think Cori Bush is on her way out too. But one of the bigger factors is at this point, these folks are radical, but the Democrats have tolerated them, but they are showing more and more anti-Semitism. And I don't think that's flying too well with some of the Democrats, even though we got some raggedy Democrats that I think are betraying Israel and, wishy-washy when it comes down to Israel. One being Chuck Schumer. Yeah, that guy, Mr. Burns. Yeah, he's one of them. Biden's one of them. But these folks are aggressive. Yeah, see, they done laid too many obvious doodle pies when it comes down to how they truly feel about Israel. And I don't think that flies. I think at this point, a lot of Democrats are like, okay, we tolerated you running around saying everything was racist. We tolerated you saying that you're a democratic socialist. We tolerated a whole bunch of left-wing Marxist type, outward behavior, but you went too far. So now you got to go. So who is he mad at? That's what I'm wondering. Hillary Clinton came out against him. Hochul came out against him. And I, for one, am happy to see him go. Not that he's getting replaced by somebody better. However, I get sick and tired of seeing black folks that get in Congress on the Democrat side, and they take advantage, how should I say, of their ethnicity by using racism for all occasions. All occasions. Now, I'm not saying white Democrats don't do it either, but it is such a horrible representation for black people when I see them in Congress and they're acting just like the stereotypical black man. Mad, angry, and always claiming that it's somebody else's fault but me. Yeah, and this guy was a classic, stereotypical, angry, running around, pointing the finger, getting in everybody's face, and whining about racism is the result of everybody but me. So I'm like, bye, toodles. Now, if his replacement comes in, I don't know if you can be as big of a race baiter as this guy is, honestly. I mean, him and the rest of the squad, that's their go-to, the whole Democrat Party. But those guys are special when it comes down to that.
We're going to show them.
Oh, you going to show
who
them?
the are.
Oh, you better watch that mouth.
Kiss your mother with that mouth?
Exactly. Nick Fury. Uh-oh, what is he doing? Trying to fly? You can't fly when you're that fat. What are you doing? Huh? Yeah. Like a turkey, a ballpark turkey. That's what he looks like. Somebody go get some oxygen for this dude. Right now he's like, I spent it all on the stage. Somebody give me some oxygen.
We're gonna show them who the we are. Ceasefire now.
Uh-oh.
Ceasefire
There he is
now.
again.
Ceasefire
There he is
now.
again. Didn't learn his lesson. Leave Israel alone with this whole ceasefire now thing, okay? Don't you think the Democrat Party is upset enough at their own radical protesters who show up at all their events talking about some ceasefire now, free Palestine? Democrats don't want to hear that right now because that has divided the party. This guy ain't getting it. And other squad members ain't getting it either. And I'm saying, y'all gonna find yourselves being primary too. But he can't lay off of it. Ceasefire now. Well, he got his career ceased.
Ceasefire now!
Now, Westchester County is often referred to as a bellwether county for the state, historically a moderate county that can go both ways. This district, of course, as you heard, also includes a small part of the Bronx. If Bowman loses, he would be the first member of the Progressive Squad to lose since the group formed about 6 years ago.
One by one, I want to see him go. One by one. Yeah, Cori Bush, Ilhan Omar, AOC, and there's another one out there too. Talib, and what's the black one with the bald head? I forget her name. All of them need to go. Ayanna Priestley, she need to go. All of them.
Dread it.
Japal.
Run from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
All the same.
It has been nearly an hour since the polls closed in New York's primary races tonight, and already we have a projected winner in the most expensive House primary race in American history, where Westchester County Executive George Latimer has been attempting to unseat incumbent Congressman and Progressive Squad member Jamal Bowman. NBC News can now project George Latimer as the projected winner.
Now maybe he could go somewhere and get that lisp fixed. You got to do the data. Go get the lisp fixed. Get on an ad program, okay? And work on not blaming everything on racism. Lower your voice. Talk like you got some sense. Learn how to interact with folks without coming across as aggressive. Yeah, go sit down somewhere and think about it, okay? Think about it. So he got his butt beat. Wow. Wah, wah. So I gloat. Yeah.
People ask me why I got a foul mouth.
Because you're black?
Yeah, they're stereotyping them because you're black.
You lose.
So here we are, together.
Yeah, he's with Brian.
In a super strange situation. So let's talk about it, okay?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Go somewhere and sit down with Brian Stelter, some of the other losers. So anyway, we finally got rid of one squad member. I'm surprised that the rest of them are still around anyway. It's amazing that the Democrats will tolerate that type of riffraff. But then again, the whole party is riffraff, but at least they try to pretend that they're not riffraff. The squad, they can't contain their riffraffism. They walk around with the riffraffism on display all the time. All the time. They're not even smooth with it. Some of the other Democrats, we see through it, but it's obvious that the public don't see through it because they learn to tamper it and, manipulate it and make it come out smooth. Not them. This guy on stage trying to fly. I believe I can fly. So now with that being said, that I had to take a gloat moment, let's get into some other things. Speaking of the Democrat Party and the liberal left, I wonder if they're really trying to help their party win. Okay. I mean, do they think that this is going to motivate Americans to vote for?
On day one, I was signed a new executive order to cut federal funding of any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial
Okay, now you hear what Trump is saying right there? You hear what Trump is saying? Here he is saying, look, I'm going to go ahead and sign legislation to deal with critical race theory, the transgender agenda when it comes down to our kids and critical race theory in schools. Things like that. Now you're dealing with children, you're dealing with education. And for some reason, CNN takes this clip and thinks that it is appropriate to combat this clip by bringing on this person.
Or political content onto the lives of our children.
In those three things, he mentions what he calls transgender insanity. If he's voted in as the next president, what will that mean to you?
We already see so many attacks on our queer community. I already don't feel...
That's where you think the American people is right about now? That's how you want to go ahead and say, Trump, look what he's up to and what he's doing, and this is the community he's attacking and this and that. Look, I don't hate these people. I don't have a problem with these people outside of the fact that they're going after our kids for some reason. And they're going after women for some reason. But apparently, CNN thinks that, I guess, the rest of America is right here. This is what they're bringing out to say, look what Trump was saying. Now, let's bring on this person looking like the Pink Panther right here and use this person as an example. Now, We all know that if you go to the minorities neighborhoods, do you think, now they're already bleeding blacks, they're bleeding Latinos. Do you think that this is a way to win them back? Now, I'm not saying blacks and Latinos are racist or bigots against transgender. They're just not on this agenda. They're not celebrating this. They're not supporting it. They're just saying, let these people do whatever they want to do and going about their business. Because there has been people like this in the black community before. It's just when you guys start shoving it down everybody's throats. A lot of the minorities and a lot of the neighborhoods and communities that you think that is on board with this, they're not. And that goes to show how delusional CNN is. This is what they do to try to combat what Trump said. And all this is doing is making me, if, being a black person in the black community going, you're making Trump's point. Okay, so let's see what this transgender person has to say about this that's dressed in all pink and I don't know where the eyes are because, yeah. So are those drawn on? I don't know. But this is not a good look if you're trying to go ahead and get people on board with it and win back voters that are moderates.
Safe in my own hometown, just dressed in drag.
So now there's an attack. And see, this is the stuff that makes everybody mad. Now there's an attack on the trans community. I don't feel safe in my own neighborhood, dressed in drag. Why? Why don't you feel safe? Who are the people out there chasing you down? Who are the people out there harassing you? Who are the people riding around in the pickups as you're walking down the street minding your own business? Hey, you, Pink Panther, we seen you. We know you a man up under all of that pink. Nobody's doing this. It's all in their heads, just like a lot of the racism they're sweeping down is running around. And honestly, I wouldn't give 2 cents about these people if they didn't start invading areas of other people in this whole culture war. I wouldn't give 2 cents. If I saw this person, I might walk past and go, it's an odd looking person, and keep it moving. Keep it moving. I'm not going to go, hey, you know what? I want to voice my opinion about how I feel about your personal lifestyle. Don't care. But when you show up in classrooms and talking about something, the bus goes round and round, then I got a problem. With it. When you show up in female bathrooms and in female sports, because I'm only saying female because it usually don't go the other way. Usually you don't have guys, girls who think they're guys jumping in male sports, rolling up in male bathrooms and letting the junk hang out and all that stuff. Yeah, usually it's not a big threat to men. And I'm thinking, we're all the feminists. If they would lay off of those areas and just enjoy life like they are, I guarantee you most folks wouldn't care. But between them, the media, and the Democrat Party, they're trying to shove it down the throat of society, and society's not ready for it. So when this person comes out and they are talking about all these attacks on them, and then, of course, they insert the thing that is really going to turn a lot of people off when they start talking about the kids.
And it's very scary for queer people to exist in a time where we see this kind of rhetoric being pushed by our lawmakers and the people who should care about other issues that actually affect the American people, other than attacking our community, our LGBTQIA plus community. It's very disappointing, and I hope for better for our country.
Nobody's attacking you. Nobody's attacking your community. But look here, Nickelodeon is attacking the kids with propaganda. And look at this, guys. That's for the kids, y'all. That's for the kids.
Here we go. Red like orange, healing. Yellow is sunlight. Green, nature blue. Purple is spirit. Baby blue, pink and white represent transgender people. And black and brown represent the queer and trans people of color.
Now, if you play this clip of color and you take this clip to almost every black community, every Latin community, every Asian community, I can go down the board. You would find that most people say, I don't want my kid watching that. I don't want my kid watching that. Because all of this is designed to introduce this to the psyche of kids. They don't want the kids watching this. This is an agenda that is being pushed that society don't want. And see, they blame us for the culture wars. And I'm thinking, no, you guys drew first blood. You guys drew first blood. Okay. So go ahead if you want to. and think that this is going to be a big issue for people to say, well, you know what? I don't want to disappoint that community, so I'm going to go ahead and vote against Trump, who said he's going to make sure that I don't have to worry about my kids being taken from me just because at school they was teaching my kids about 18,000 genders and my kid chose one. And then I found out about it and was upset about it. I was upset about it. So they took my kid. Yeah. I don't want to be a church guy who's like, we don't do that here in this church, but now this is protected under the Civil Rights Act, the Discrimination Act of whatever. And so therefore, we're going to have to revoke your 50C3 status. This is discrimination. I don't want to be that. A lot of people don't. I don't want to be a female that's out there trying to run in the 100-yard dash and some dude is out there smoking me by 2 or 3 seconds. Don't want to be that. Most of society is not ready for this, but they don't care about these people like they think that we do. And that's the problem. They're walking around paranoid because the Democrats, the media, and all of them have influenced them to think everybody's out to get them, and nobody's out to get them. We just don't want them getting the kids and women. Let's continue because she's out there jamming, trying to influence the kids.
Meanwhile, Democrats appear to be getting a bit nervous about President Biden's re-election bid. You'll remember a couple of months ago, Biden's campaign had confidence they could win Florida.
What?
Now the Biden campaign is ruling Florida out.
Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, clearly battleground states, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia. We have a discussion about whether you want to include North Carolina. You would agree all those 6 are battleground states, the ones that I mentioned. North Carolina's a battleground state?
Yes.
Florida?
No.
Thank you. I was afraid you were going to lie.
So y'all hear that? It sounds to me like the Biden administration is starting to go ahead and, count their losses. They're like, you know what, let's just chalk that one up. Florida's out. So it sounds like they're not doing so well in many of the states, even though they're trying to tell us the polls are tightening. I'm not quite buying that. And honestly, somebody said Nickelodeon, they put a trash can after it. They are trash. I mean, shoot. Back in the day, the closest thing you might come to that is when Bugs Bunny played the girl bunny. My stars. That was about it. Now, full blown. And everybody knows what the agenda is. It's like, okay, is this supposed to be like discreet? We know exactly what you're doing when you have somebody dressed like that come out and start singing and all of that stuff. And showing up at schools, man. Did you ever think we'd be living in a day where people are trying to influence kids with their own personal ideology and really getting upset with the parents if they got a problem with it? I mean, and I'm not talking about just with that lifestyle. Any personal lifestyle should be left out of schools and away from kids. Any of your personal choices. If you a gigolo, I'm just a gigolo. If that's your lifestyle, you still don't need to be in there singing the gigolo on the bus goes round and round. Just mind your own business. Come in, teach the kids. And if you got a TV network, show funny cartoons that has nothing to do with your own personal lifestyle. Burns me up when I see this crap. So now let's get back to the Biden administration taking it to the chin and see what they're going to do because the debate's coming up tomorrow, y'all. Oh, yeah. All right. So let's see. I think they're talking about how Trump is preparing for the debate. Let's see what they got to say.
I just want to play something of how the former president claims he's been preparing for the debate.
I'm preparing by taking questions from you and others. If you think about it, we had a great meeting just now in Philadelphia with the at the shop. You saw that with all the wonderful people. We just left Faith and Freedom.
Now, see, Trump does have a point. When you are out and able to talk about a whole bunch of stuff with a whole bunch of people, it keeps you sharp, keeps you frosty. Right now, I could probably get into a debate with almost anybody. Not that I'm sitting back, taking time off, studying, memorizing stuff. It's just that I constantly am watching these things, staying on top of these things, keeping it fresh in my mind. And, I got enough wits to apply the things that I acquired to where I could debate these issues and these topics. So I wouldn't have to go into hiding like Biden just to get ready for a debate. If you stay on top of it, you're sharp, you're ready to go. Now, I'm not saying there aren't things you can sharpen and be prepared for because you already know that you're going to be going in to a 3-on-1 debate. So you probably want to memorize some statistics, probably want to get some reminders of don't get distracted, don't get drawn into a Donnybrook, a full-blown scrap with the media. You already know what they're going to be doing. Just do what the Democrats do whenever you ask a stupid question. I would love to talk about that. However, I would like to talk about that open border. That's what I would like to talk about. I would like to talk about all these American citizens that unfortunately have been killed as a result of Biden's open border. Yeah, I mean, we could address J6, but you know what? I'd rather talk about. So you do what the Democrats do. Stay on topic. Don't run into a Donnybrook, because you already know they're going to let Biden come out and try to drag Trump into a defensive position, trying to defend all of these wild, crazy accusations that the media definitely is not going to check. And I heard you came out and said that soldiers were stupid, and then you said you're going to be a dictator on day one, and then you said it was a bloodbath, and then you said. He's going to come out and throw all those things out. And if Trump try to chase all those little fires down, he can get drugged into some nonsense. So the media ain't going to say, well, now, actually, we fact checked that. That is not true. They're going to let Biden sling out whatever garbage he has to sling. You're a convicted felon. And he's going to do all of that. And Trump has to be able to just be like, quick response, get right back on topic and put him back on the defense. I'm hoping that's one of the things that they are coaching him up on, is just saying, hey, don't take the bait, because they're going to try to bait you. You already know. They don't want you staying on topic. They don't want Trump talking about the issues, talking about policies and all of that stuff. They want it to turn into a, arguing Donnybrook. That's what they want.
In D.C., and that was incredible. So, but I'm preparing by dealing with you. You're tougher than all of them.
Let's see what Anderson.
I mean, Mr. Michael, I don't think that's true. But if that is true, I mean, that's a gift to the Biden administration, obviously, because the softballs he gets from, people at set-up events are obvious.
What, did he just say softballs that Trump gets from people who... See? This is what makes me stand on it until the day I die. The media is definitely fake news. The toilet bowl. So here we go. Here they go talking about that softball questions. Trump gets the most harsh questions, and he still, every once in a while, will show up on a left-wing platform and go to war. And they treat Trump hostile. Whole time. But Mr. President, I have to interrupt. And you know what? I have to stop you there, Mr. President. And that's not true. And you know what, Mr. President? And he still keeps going on these shows, going to war with these people. You think Joe would ever go on Fox? Think he'd go on Newsmax? You think Joe would come to Kevin's Corner and like he went over to what's Charlemagne, this Insane in the Brain show? Why don't he come on Kevin's Corner show? I would give him the business.
Softballs he gets from, people at set-up events are obvious.
You have some nerve.
You have, over the years, over your career, you've already spent a great deal of time at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, except now you're living there and you're president. What? It's been 4 weeks. What's it like? How's it different?
What?
I get up in the morning and look at Jill and say, where the hell are we?
What kind of question was that? Mr. President, what's your favorite color? You know what? What this? Fuchsia? Wait, no, it's black. White. No, you know what? It's chocolate chip. That's not a color, but it's okay. It's okay. And Mr. President, you know what? What do you like to do in your spare time? Huh? How does it feel, Mr. President, to be underappreciated? See, when your policies have been so impactful and helped everybody, how does it feel to be unappreciated? It sucks. You know what? And I feel we've done everything we can. That's great. That's great. Now back to you, Mr. Trump. So, when did you decide to become a white nationalist? Huh? When did you decide to become a Nazi, Mr. President? You know that's what it's going to be the whole time. And here's Pooper talking about some softball questions, and you heard him ask him that nice, gentle question.
Softball after softball. I've seen all of his
There it is, T-balling.
He's never been asked a question that's hard.
And he can't even hit those. That's how bad Joe is. When he goes on these networks, man, they T-ball him all day long. Here you go. And set it right there. Just that nice and easy. Don't even swing hard. Just nice and bing. That's it. He can't even do that. So, guys, what Biden must do during the debate? Well, the media has a plan for him. They're going to go ahead and tell us what they think he need to do to be successful in this debate, besides just stay alive, keep breathing, make sure you can stand up throughout the whole time, and just kind of keep your mouth quiet for the most part.
Yeah, and Van, the president is going after Trump in a new ad on the economy. Let's look at that.
Donald Trump loves to attack Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Because he's focused on revenge.
Donald Trump loves to attack Joe Biden. Now, all we hear when Joe's on the campaign trail, Trump, Donald Trump, 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 Trump. And then you know what? Trump, the MAGA, ultra MAGA. All day long. And Donald Trump and his white nationalists and his ultra MAGA people and his... So that is supposed to be their ad? And then said he only cares about himself? Does that make any sense?
And he has no plan to help the middle class. He'd just give more tax cuts to the wealthy. Joe Biden is working every day to make your life more affordable. Donald Trump is only out for himself.
Only out for himself. That's amazing to me, y'all. Now, see, this defies all reason and all logic if you are a rational thinking person. You have one candidate that is self-sufficient, made his billions through hard work, has, a business that has, actual employees and products and services and stuff like that. You got one who is a billionaire, self-made billionaire. Granted, he might have had some help because his dad and all that stuff. But then all those billions afterwards, Trump made. See, he's had businesses fail and recovered and all of that stuff. Biden had nothing. So now if anybody have an incentive to be looking out for themselves, it would be the guy that came in with nothing and don't have any way of maintaining that income outside of being a politician. See, so now I would be more prone to think a politician who don't have a business, no products, nothing. All he has is influence and power because of his position. That person will be more likely to be self-serving than the person who already came in a billionaire, took on the job of being a president for what? If it's all about self-serving, he would quit. If it's all about he only cares about himself, he would have dropped out this bad boy after the first time y'all stole the election from him. And he would have got on that chopper, left, and said, man, this ain't worth it. They impeached me twice. They called me a Russian agent. The deep state undermined me. They went after my friends and family. It ain't worth it. How about I go somewhere, sit down and enjoy the rest of my billions, and as the money keeps rolling in. Joe, if he quits, the money dries up. So what are they talking about when they say he only cares about himself? You got to show me the motive when you say that. What do you mean when you say he only cares about himself? Has he benefited from being the president, or has he lost things? He's only gained the respect of the voters and the gratification of seeing America become better. That's it. Money, he's lost money. But yet he only cares about himself.
Joe Biden is fighting for your family.
Yeah, I mean, Vance.
And that's why everybody is saying America sucks right now. And the households are, very, tight when it comes down to the money and stuff like that. And that's why they're all saying that. So now watch this spin, y'all.
Point in that ad, they were going after Trump, but they were also showing Biden sitting down with voters at the table, and more of that, I guess, is what they're thinking they need to do behind the scenes.
Absolutely, and part of the thing is we're living in the United States of amnesia. People really just don't remember how awful and terrible the Trump days were. I mean,
do you remember when Trump was the prez? It was great. What are you talking about? Van Jones, who don't deserve that bald head? So now they all come out and say that people have amnesia. And I'm going, actually, people remember how good it was, and that's why they're going, we want to go back to that. But you're going to come out and just try to gaslight us, Van Jones, because you're a paid prostitute. That's why you're coming out saying this, trying to convince us that we are not aware of how things were. Even folks who hated Trump are able to see now that, man, I had benefits under Trump. Yeah, you know what to do it, what to wake those folks up to allow them to see how good it was under Trump is high gas prices, high inflation, eggs costing a lot of money, can't afford bacon like me. I ain't got no bacon in a long time, y'all. Help me get some bacon. Would you like to contribute to the Help Kevin Get Some Bacon Foundation? Because right now, inflation is messing with the bacon. Too much inflation for bacon. So let's continue, though, listening to Van Jones prostitute himself.
There's a reason that he got voted out. And so that now there's this weird kind of nostalgia.
He didn't get... That's a subject for another day. It's a reason why I got voted out. We all know. We know. We know what happened.
For the Trump days, which if you look back at any of the headlines or any of what was going on, nobody was happy during that period of time.
I don't know what you're talking about. Y'all created a perception in the minds of many people that life sucked under Trump. Those were the folks that suffered from Trump derangement syndrome, but many of them were cured by this raggedy economy and this inflation. See, Biden and his bad policies have helped cure a lot of them. That open border, all these illegal immigrants in their neighborhood. You guys helped cure these folks. And now the polls are showing that. Now, granted, you still got a lot of them out there just walking around zombified and suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Don't get me wrong, but there they are trying to convince us that everybody knew how bad it sucked and this and this and that. But then if that is the case, why are so many millions of folks wanting to return back to the way Trump governed? Why does he have all these supporters? Why are all these people wanting to vote for him? Why is this rally so big? What is it that we all got amnesia? Mass amnesia? Mass delusion? We're all going out. The only fake reality that anybody suffered from was folks that suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, to whereas if you ask them, why don't you like Trump during the days that Trump ran the country and everybody had jobs and money and gas was low and food was low and housing market was booming and the stock market was booming and 401ks were booming and all of that stuff. The only problem people had was all in here. It was mentality, y'all, mentality. You would ask them, what's going on? Why do you hate Trump? Because everything's horrible. Why? Our rights are being rolled back. Which ones? All of them, you white nationalist fascists. Don't ask me more questions. Well, what about anything else in your life that's horrible? I do have a good job, and man, I'm making a lot of money in my 401k. You know what? White nationalism, racism. They could not give you real reasons why life was so bad under Trump. It was all a delusion by these folks.
A complete upset all the time. So what Biden, I think, is trying to do, that message, Trump is for himself, resonates. People get that. That seems
No, we don't. I just gave a wonderful dissertation on why I know Trump is not for himself. These folks, they create the villain without giving the villain a motive. You assign all of these characteristics, attributes, and motives. Trump is all out for himself. And I say, so go beyond just saying that. What would be his motive? What's his end game? What is he out for? Is it money? Is it power? Is it fame? Yeah, please tell me. Y'all just say he's all out for him. He just wants, listen to some of the stupid stuff comes out of their mouth without even thinking about it, because nobody's going to follow up and say, please elaborate on that. Van Phony Jones.
True. And Biden is fighting for you. That's where he's got to prove the point. The thing about it is, those of us who spend a lot of time with the news, we know Inflation Reduction Act is a lot of money to try to help build stuff, but it sounds like gobbledygook. So you can't just...
No, what you're saying sounds like gobbledygook. Nothing but gobbledygook, googly ga. That's it. Mumble jumble man. Mumble jumble. Sound like you're talking part to a boy. Don't understand that, boy. So now let's finish hearing Van Jones try to gaslight us and say that the reason that the folks aren't supporting Biden like that is because we got amnesia and we can't see how great Biden is.
Get up there and say, look, I passed this ABC and this XYZ and this 1, 2, 3, and think people are going to be moved by that. People don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I know what
and so you've got to, on the one hand, punch hard on Trump and remind people that he is a chaos agent, but you got to get more specific.
Yeah, get more specific and tell me what you mean when you say he's a chaos agent. See, that's why he's on this safe network right there with those two guys. Yeah, he does have a lisp too. Yeah. So, but you see those guys over there sitting there like this? And I'm going, yeah, get specific, Van Jones. I want to know, when you talk about, Trump's an agent of chaos, what do you mean? No, you mean the chaos that you guys created through all your gaslighting and lies for 4 years while he was in office. Trump didn't disavow the KKK. He said there were good people on both sides. He was a Russian agent. Trump killed fish. Trump did this. Trump said that. Trump said... You guys were the agents of chaos. And still are. Still are. If y'all would have left Trump alone and did reporting and say, look, man, these are good policies. These are working for the American people. Stop taking them out of context. Stop trying to simp for the Democrat Party the whole time. Stop trying to sabotage him. All of these things they did. They're the ones that divided the country with all of these lies. They created a false reality in the minds of half the country, and they created the perception of an agent of chaos. But it was really a product of media manipulation. That's all it is.
We just heard the price of eggs. Can you talk normal American and resonate and connect? That's what that ad is about. That's what he's got to be about.
That ad wasn't about that. That was the worst ad ever. And Biden can't talk, period. So what are you talking about, Van Jones? What he has to do when he comes out is he has to show the people that he can stay alive through the debate. That's all he can do. I'm still here. I'm breathing. If you don't believe me, put the mirror under my nose. You can see a little bit of fog on the mirror. That's what I am. I'm alive, everybody. Just wondering. I nodded off for a second, but I'm here. I'm still here.
Free at 71%. That's obviously been an issue that Joe Biden's been hitting upon. So these are the three top major factors.
Let's
so
see.
the question is, who to vote?
Because Van Jones was just saying how everybody's just got amnesia and stuff, and they're not able to make a comparison. Now, it might be one thing if Biden has not been the president. But Van Jones is trying to sell us some chocolate, some doo-doo, and tell us it's chocolate. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. For the simple fact, we're able to do a compare and contrast. But look at this new category y'all done came up with when it comes down to the polling.
There's trust more on these issues, Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Well, on inflation, this is where Donald Trump wants to be playing. Look at that, an 18-point lead over Joe Biden. The economy, another area where Donald Trump would be happy to play ball. Look at that, a 13-point lead in average of polls on the economy for the former president. The only one of those top major factor issues where Joe Biden leads is the state of democracy. Look at that.
You mean our republic? What are you talking about? I pledge allegiance to the flag in which it stands, one nation under God. So the republic, I think it's a republic, right? That's somewhere in there, right? To the republic in which it stands, not to the democracy in which it stands. So these guys are using democracy. They went ahead and inserted a new poll just so it can fit the narrative that they're trying to paint about Trump. So watch what this guy says. We've never had democracy be polled.
7-point advantage, which is not half bad, but I think if you asked a lot of folks on the Democratic side, they would hope this margin would climb ever higher. And I guess Thursday's debate is a chance for them, or at least a chance for Joe Biden to sort of push that message.
Now watch this. Talk to me more about this democracy one.
There's that old adage from James Carville, right? It's the economy, stupid. And that, I think, has some historical precedent. Harry, how has the economy impacted elections in the past?
Yeah, so I went back in time. You know me. I love digging through the polling archives. So I did it earlier today, and I looked back at the polling archives since 1976. And sure enough, I asked, is it always the economy, stupid? Well, the candidate trusted more in the economy has won 8 times since 1976, but actually has lost 4 times since 1976. So yes, more times than not, the candidate trusted more on the economy wins. But if you ask Donald Trump last time around, did you win the 2020 election? Despite what he says, the actual truth is, no, he did not win that election. And he, of course, was trusted more in the economy. So yeah.
I don't know about that. I know how Trump feels about that. And I got a gut feeling the majority of Trump supporters, MAGA voters, not the ones that just came on board due to Joe Biden's economy. I'm talking about the hardcore ones that's been on board with Trump. We all feel some kind of way about that last election. I'm just saying. But hey, the good thing about it, if Trump wins, we don't have to be sitting back on, well, it's getting close to the time for Trump to leave office. This will be his 8th year coming up. Now we get a whole fresh 4. But we got a lot to clean up. That's the problem. Because in 3.5, 4 years, they have destroyed all of our progress. Horribly. So now this guy is talking about, well, you know, Trump, he had a good economy, but he still lost. I'm like, did he? But listen to this new category, y'all.
You bat better than you bat worse, but it's far from a guarantee.
Watch this.
And take us through democracy.
Because we want that to be on the table because the Democrats, that's what their talking point is in their narrative. They done came up with a new category that they're asking people about because they're out here trying to paint Trump as a threat to democracy. So therefore, we just put that in the polls. Democracy, what about that? Who do you think is be better on democracy? Now, if you want to play that little game, even though we do have a republic, when you look at Republicans, we're going, the Biden administration is a threat to democracy. Okay? They're the real threat. And I can go through all of that. We all know it. We've seen it. We've lived it. We know what's going on. Going after Trump, the J6 folks, the Christians, you name it. Democracy is on the ballot. And I'm going, you're right. We need to win this because that dude right there is surrounded by globalists and by Marxists and by fascists and by communists and by evilness.
Being a top 3 issue.
I'm talking about Biden.
This, to me, is one of those interesting questions where, again, I go into that polling archive and I type in these keywords and I go, okay, do we have any polling on the past of this?
Yeah, where's that?
Well, cycles when presidential polls ask who was better on democracy, there has only been one time when that was asked, and that's this year.
Now, I wonder why. Now, you see what's going on. The Democrats are trying to subvert democracy by bringing up democracy and trying to poll based on that. They're projecting. They want the perception that our democracy is about to be taken away by this dictator, which really is them. That's who it is. See, they're the real dictators. But what they're trying to do is through perception manipulation, they're trying to say your way of life is going to be in jeopardy. This man is a danger to our whole system. He's really a danger to Democrats, not democracy. Democrats. That's what he's a danger to. And they're putting themselves on the ballot. You think he's a danger to us? Yes, I do think he's a danger to you guys. I can tell by the way they're reacting.
2024. The other 19 times, the other 19 cycles on which we have polling, that question wasn't even asked. So this is a very unique time, a very unique issue. And Joe Biden, of course, given the polling that we see here, trusted more on that particular issue.
I don't know why.
Definitely going to be a message that he's going to push on Thursday night. Of course, we'll just have to wait and see whether or not that message works for him.
Now, you know, since they've been pushing this for 4 years, that's what he's going to open up with. Trump's a danger to our democracy. Democracy, democracy. Whole time. Mr. Biden, how do you feel about the economy? Democracy. Danger to democracy. That's what they told me to say. I got to keep saying it. Anything you ask me, same answer. Democracy. So let's see what Black Gay Drop got to say about it, because she knows that this debate is important too.
President Trump can talk policy on Thursday, which remains an open question. We'll see what kind of performer he is that night. One of the places he's undoubtedly going to go is to inflation, which everybody across the country is feeling despite all that economic data we talk about all the time that is so strong. The economy's thriving.
Now, see, why is he backing this up? In spite of all the economic data we talk about that is so strong that so I'm going ahead and I'm already letting my audience know that everything's great. Yeah, I don't know why you guys. I don't know why the public seems to have this perception that our economy sucks. I don't know why. In spite of all of the gaslighting we're doing and all of the efforts we're doing to help carry the buckets and buckets and buckets of water for the Democrat Party, in spite of all of that, we don't know why people still think that the economy sucks.
I think talk about things costing too much. He'll look into the camera maybe and say, you know that your cereal costs too much. He'll go down the list of groceries and gas. How will the president address that criticism?
So here's the thing. This is something that we've been talking about for some time, right?
Y'all ready? Y'all ready for some gaslight? Neon light?
Right, the economy. And you're right, the data shows that the economy is indeed strengthening, it's stronger. And we understand that we came out of a pandemic.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's go down that list of excuses. Go down that list of excuses. So now let's see. Pandemic. That's one. The pandemic, you mean? The one that you guys brought on yourselves to try to stop Trump and use as a form of manipulating the voting process. The ones that you guys couldn't just say, now that we got Trump out somehow, how about we just open up the economy and save ourselves this headache 4 years down the road, trying to explain why the economy sucks. But nope, they want to see how far they could push controlling our lives. They wanted to see how far their little social experiment could go before the people said enough is enough. Let's see how far we can take it. How about think we can get them to go ahead and keep it locked down for a year? A year or two? You think we can get them to take stuff that they don't want to take? Threaten their jobs? You think we can do that? You think we could? So with their little social experiment, they ended up really, really destroying the economy. Trump had it built up to a point where all they had to do was come in and say, now open everything back up. Kids go back to school, open up the businesses, and they would have been okay. But nope, not them. Still shut it down. We're going to use the first year and a half of Joe Biden not addressing any policies, but coming out giving reading explanations of what's going on with COVID. Today, it spiked at 3, and we're getting relief and all of that. So they did that. But here she is blaming the pandemic, not their choices and how they governed over that.
A pandemic, a once-in-a-century pandemic. And the work that this...
And what did we find out now? That pandemic wasn't even that bad. Y'all didn't have to shut down schools, churches, funeral homes, funerals. Didn't have to shut down all of that. Didn't have to shut down businesses. You had people rearranging their whole restaurant for nothing. Nothing. Nice little Italian restaurant here in Youngstown, not too far from me. Yeah, they're conservatives. Every time I go in there, on their TV, they play Fox. It's so funny. But I know they were furious. I went to go get me some nice spaghetti and meatballs one time. Went up in there during the pandemic. They had plastic hanging down from the ceiling. Everything was boxed off. And in between each bite, you had to put your mask back up and all of that for nothing. Now this stuff is over, and we know that the mask was. We know that all of that was nothing. You know how much money and time and effort went into all of this garbage?
President did from the American Rescue Plan to the bipartisan infrastructure legislation to the...
how'd that infrastructure project going with all of those charging stations? Oh, y'all only put one in? Y'all only put one in? All of those billions of dollars, and y'all ain't got nothing done, nothing to show for your work?
Inflation Reduction Act, all of these historic pieces of legislation has helped this country get back on its feet. So yes, eggs and milk, and there were grocery things that were up. It has gone down.
Boy, gaslight. Oh, yeah. Neon light. First of all that other stuff you're talking about is googly gaw. But the stuff that people have to buy every day, reoccurring costs, they're filling it. I mean, I can't even eat out. I don't know whether to buy my own food or eat out. I'm sitting like, what's more expensive? I might go to get some cereal and be like, oh, wait a minute, I should have just went and got McDonald's. It's crazy right about now what the prices are. Forget about filling up the man truck. I go from destination to destination. All right, let's see, my car gets 8 miles to the gallon. I got to go 24 miles. I'm going to put 3 gallons in. That should get me there. Then I'll put another gallon or 2, 3. Wait, no, I got to put 3 more. Okay, so I'll fill it up when I get back. See where I'm at once I get there. Might have enough to ride in on fumes to get home. Who knows? Yeah, here they are right, telling us everything's great. We just don't see it.
It has gone down since 2022. Gas prices, because of the actions that this president took, and let's not forget there was an invasion, but Russia did it to...
Yeah, the Russia inflation, the Putin price hike. Remember that gaslighting that took place? Well, when you go to the gas pump, make sure you look up at the sky and say, Putin, damn you, Putin. Democrats was literally out there telling us to get mad at Putin when we go to the gas tank, as they went ahead and instigated a war, an unnecessary war that could have been avoided. Talking about something. Remember Russia, there was Putin price hike.
He did, obviously, into Ukraine. That caused gas prices to tick up. The president took action, tapped the SPR, and we saw gas prices go down. The president has met the moment with every issue that we have had in front of us. The president obviously talks about that often. He's going to have another opportunity on Thursday to speak to those issues. And look, we're talking about...
I wonder if any of those people on that set believes that. They're all sitting there probably like, I can't believe this is where I'm at in my career. But hey, the money's good. I'm going to sit here and act like what this lady is saying is the truth. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit right here and listen to her blow all of this smoke right up our butts, because they're butt blower smoker ups too. They blow smoke up people's butt all the time. Dang on it. So here they are all in cahoots, probably like, okay, is it my turn to blow smoke up somebody's butt? Okay, so tag out Black Gay Drop. I'm in.
Donald Trump, which I just mentioned, Dobbs decision. The reason why we have chaos right now after the Dobbs decision, the reason why
is because you guys made a big deal of it. Because that's your bread and butter.
After Roe v. Wade was overturned after it being constituted.
Because you guys had somebody leak the Supreme Court's decision and then had your angry, violent protesters show up and wreak havoc with no consequences.
Constitutional law for 50 years is because of what Donald Trump did in his administration. And now IVF is on the line. Contraception is on the line. We have, I was thinking about when I was sitting here before starting this conversation, there's some of us who have young children. Can you believe that we have more rights? We had more rights.
Yeah, because we want our young children to know that they can get abortions if they get pregnant and all of that stuff. These are the important things for the kids. The more rights. What more rights are you talking about, Black Gay?
It's growing up. Then our kids. That's
Name one Black Gay that the kids don't have now.
It's because of the Trump administration and what they were able to do. So there's a lot here. There's a big contrast in what we're trying to do on behalf of the American people, majority of Americans, what they want to see, and what we see congressional Republicans, extreme Republicans doing.
Yeah, apparently they don't know what Americans want to see when CNN is bringing out the transgender on the bus goes round and round, saying that Trump's going to roll back your rights, even though that's not true. That Trump's going to take away contraceptives for kids and stuff, even though kids shouldn't have contraceptives and all of that stuff. But nonetheless, he's going to take it back and, abortion for kids, because what, kids shouldn't get abortions either? Okay. All right. So what else is, we always got to slide in the kids somehow. Okay. So he's going to prevent you from aborting the kids. Oh, that's what it, okay. So he's going to prevent you from aborting. Oh, he's not really going to do that. He's going to leave it up to the state. Okay. So what, we're out here telling everybody he did a national abortion ban or something, and it's not true. So the gaslighting is they're lies. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid to get out there and push these type of lies. So since they don't believe that the average person, is able to look at life now and say it was worse under Biden than under Trump, maybe we should listen to a billionaire like this lady.
For Biden.
Trump or Biden? He asked her, Trump or Biden?
So as I've said to my children, so I have 2 girls and a boy, and they're split on this. As I've said to them, look, I am going to vote for the person who's going to do the best job for our economy. I am a voter when it comes to economics.
So you're a smart voter, even though you're a billionaire. You're not so rich and so woke that you're not able to see that there was a better economy under Trump. And it sounds to me like many other billionaires are starting to feel that way as well, even ones out in Silicon Valley.
And on that basis, Trump. I mean, if
that guy's like, huh? He's shocked.
So, yeah, Art Laffer describes the first 3 years of the Trump presidency as the best in U.S. economic history.
Oh my! Did Black Gay Drop hear this very intelligent person make that statement? Did Van Jones hear that woman say that? The best in U.S. history. And I concur. And he did it in record-breaking time. Record-breaking time. Remember that guy? Oh, listen, he says he's going to bring back all these factory jobs. I'm thinking to myself, how are you going to do that? I mean, do you have a magic wand? And he came right in and did it. Look at all the other stuff he came right in and did. Didn't take 8 years. We're not going to be able to get rid of ISIL that easily. I mean, Trump came in and got rid of him just like that. And he would have gotten so much stuff done if they wouldn't have been sitting on his agenda and fighting him, at tooth and nail. And I ain't talking about just Democrats. I'm talking about some rhinos as well. Yeah, I heard Paul Ryan. He knew about that dossier, y'all. That Ryan the Rhino. I heard he had the dossier. Gizmo running around in here for some. You know he ain't supposed to be running. You better calm down, buddy. You don't want to pull a back muscle. But anyway, yeah, Paul Ryan. He knew about that fake phony dossier. He had it. But he went ahead and let us go ahead and think that, this is a serious Russia collusion investigation. That guy, man, I'm so glad he's out of politics. And he needs to get off Fox, because I don't even watch Fox no more except just clips that benefit me or has some point to it. But anyway, now I'm getting off topic. Let's get back on to this lady talking about the economy. Stupid.
Not the last one because of COVID, and I would agree.
Wow.
And I went through Reaganomics too.
Yeah, so she even went through Reaganomics. Now, what about this one? What about this one, y'all? The border. Do you think Biden's going to come out and want to talk about that? Yeah. Now, if he comes out and try to say it's Trump, he's the problem. The border is all messed up because of Trump and the Republicans. Well, guys, let's see their strategy to try to combat that border issue.
And what the Biden campaign is going to do, as they should, they're going to use those comments as yet another demonstration of just how anti-immigrant, anti-Latino, anti-American Donald Trump is, as he's trying to convince people outside of his MAGA coalition that he actually wants them to support him. He's never going to be able to do that with these horrific racist comments that he's making. And he seems to enjoy what he's saying. And yes, it riles up.
Everybody's racist. Every comment is racist. He seems to be enjoying these racist comments. And he's anti-immigrant. He's anti-Latino. But yet the Latino vote is growing. Yet all of these blacks and Latinos are saying, send them back. Send them back. See, folks like this on CNN, they just don't, they get it. They get it, but they're pretending that they don't get it. Here she is trying to act as if all of Trump's rhetoric, it might have worked the first time around with Nancy Pelosi and all of them coming out like, did you hear what Trump did? He called all the illegal immigrants this and that, and he called him as 13 animals, which they are. But now that folks in the inner city has gotten a taste of the illegal immigrant problem, now they're coming out on microphones that you won't see clips of them on CNN or MSNBC saying, man, this is some bullcrap. These illegal immigrants got to go. They up in here taking up all our space. And this and that. Sounded like xenophobes, y'all. Sounded like pure D xenophobes. But here is the propagandist on CNN trying to pretend that Trump's harsh language and rhetoric and stuff is going to make people not vote for him.
Up his MAGA base because they are as xenophobic as he is.
Now, xenophobic. I mean, enough of the phobics. Good grief. They just come up with stuff. So xenophobic are people who dislike folks from other countries. Do you think we're xenophobic? Do you think that's it? I can't stand when they use this garbage. So now you're saying that because we see millions and millions of people from all over the globe pouring into our country, we don't want to stop it just because we can't vet these people. We don't have the resources to take care of these people. And we also are hip to the real motive behind bringing these people to our country. And they're bringing their problems and violence and some other issues and drugs and stuff. We're not trying to stop that because of what those effects are. No, it's because we just don't like people from other countries. Now, we've been dealing with folks from other countries for God knows how long, since the country was established. Folks was coming in from all over the place. That's why we are a melting pot. That's why we got big populations of Jews and Latinos and Asians. And you go to New York and you'll see all of these people. They were all coming in, Irish and Italians, Germans, all of that. So all of this time, here I am growing up, mingling with folks from other countries. I went to school with Arab kids, white kids, Italian kids, Puerto Rican kids, folks that came in with the accent, so you already knew they were from another country. Yeah, you weren't born here, were you? I can tell. As soon as you opened your mouth, I knew it. Not once did I say I don't like these people because they're from other countries. In fact, I was curious, more intrigued. Wait, where are you from? You from Jamaica? Tell me a little bit about Jamaica, man. Love it. But when you show up, there's a lady from England lives here. Her name was Helen. I used to play pool with her, white lady. Yeah, she was hipping me to how people speak in English. She was like, you know what? We say right there in the bottom of the bottle. But some people say the bottom of the bottle. And that shows that they're from a different side of England than we are. I'm like, oh, so those are like the ghetto English people, the ones that be like, right there in the bottom of the bottle versus the bottom of the bottle. And I'm sitting there intrigued about all that. Had a lady from China, was asking her all kind of questions about how life is in China. Not once did I go, you know what, I don't like your kind. And we don't want no Chinese over here in America, and we don't want no English folks. Nothing to do with folks from other countries. It all has something to do with these are legal immigrants being brought here and encouraged to come here by our own government. And they are wreaking havoc on so many areas of our country. That's what it has something to do with. Here she is trying to make it seem like we just got a problem with immigrants. This guy, unfortunately, that seems to always elude people when they're debating these folks. And I'm like, stop them. Don't let them get away with saying, you guys got a problem with immigrants. No, illegal. Make them confront that.
But it does nothing to try to add support from the voters, the independents, the suburban women, the other coalitions that he needs in order to win. So as a Democrat, by all means, keep saying what you're saying. It's exactly who he is at his core.
Good.
As a Latina and as an immigrant, it makes me want to throw up, frankly, to tell you the truth. Scott?
2/3 of the
Yeah, the lady from Germany didn't call me for a while. Yeah, you're right, because I don't have a phone number anymore. But man, I know she became an American citizen. She was from Africa, but I think she lived in Germany. And she finally came here as an American. Boy, her calls used to be fire. You people don't know how you have it over in America. She used to come in and let us know that, man, folks in other countries are looking at us going, what are y'all doing over there? Loved her. So, yeah, so the Latino lady right there was upset. So let's see how this guy responds.
American people support Donald Trump's policy prescriptions for immigration right now, including a majority of Hispanics in the United States. Let me just tell you.
Oh, look at her coming in. But what about his comments? So we got the 2-on-1 going. We already know that. But what about his comments?
Racist and xenophobic comments. I mean, he's painting migrants as, being violent. They have violent tendencies, right?
It's fascinating to hear these fools get up here. Totally insensitive to all of the victims of illegal immigrants that was avoidable. See, and I know what they're going to say. Well, you can't say all of them. All of them are like that. She's painting with a broad brush. Okay, who's willing to take the risk? And not to mention, the more you bring in, the more bad apples you also bring in as well. So that number increases. Then the ones that come in and don't find work and are out on the streets can become bad apples when they start seeing that maybe life isn't so rosy over here like they promised. I didn't walk right into a job. Yeah. So you got folks that are coming from all over the country. You don't know what their intentions are. And you know they're not recording the real numbers. We got 100, no, wait, it was 100 and I think maybe 1.8 million of them just got away. We got all of this stuff coming in, not to mention the drugs that's coming in and killing folks. So all of this garbage she's saying, we got victims across the board from drug overdoses to these folks that's doing the R word and all of that stuff. We got all of these victims. And here she is, but he's calling them that they're prone to, first of all, the fact that they came here legally, that puts them in a category of criminality right off rip.
Right, and of course, dehumanizing them to being entertainment for the rest of us.
Is he painting them as being violent? I mean, would Lake and Riley think they were violent? Would Rachel Marin think they were violent? Would Jocelyn Nungare in Texas think they were violent? How about the girl that was raped in broad daylight in New York City? How about the girl that was kidnapped in Missouri? Yeah, there are violent people in the country. And yeah, Donald Trump uses...
And look, she looked disgusted. The chick in the middle looked disgusted by him even bringing these people up. Like, here you go again with your talking points. Somebody had the R word done to him. Oh, somebody was murdered. Jeez, oh man, how long are you going to beat that dead horse? You're politicizing it. I mean, they want illegal immigrants that bad in the country to where they're overlooking the carnage from these policies. They're downplaying the fallout from mucus and Biden's policies. They're almost upset that you would even bring these folks up.
Colorful language, but the bottom line is immigration is killing Joe Biden's campaign right now. This is why he has a low approval rating. This is why Donald Trump is honing in on this. And people are responding to it, and people are fed up with it.
Yeah.
And if you want to call 2/3 of the country racist or xenophobic because they're in a mood right now that they want this fixed, yes, agree. By all means, go up.
Yeah, and see how that works out. Go up to Chicago with the jungle, and get in there. You people are all xenophobic. Yeah, go up there to New York where you got blacks and Latinos that have waken up and say, man, this is a mess. Yeah, we woke up and now these folks are in our schools, in our neighborhoods, taking up our resources, and they're all being shoved in here by the folks who said, we love black people. We love we love Latinos and all of that. Love y'all so much, we're going to shove all of these people right in your neighborhood and take resources that you guys should have and give it to them. And then demand that you hush up, boy.
On. It's not going to work. By the way, politically, I don't think the American people are in a pro-amnesty mood right now. You look at what Trump is proposing, there's a lot of polling that shows majority support for what Trump is saying, including among Hispanics in the United States of America.
Yeah, but see, CNN and MSNBC and all of them, they don't care what the people want. The Democrats don't care what the people want. They're going to tell you what you want. They're going to come out and say, all of the polling be damned. Even though the people are going to send these folks back, even though the people are saying, shut that border down, even though the people are saying this is a serious topic, the Democrats' response to that is amnesty. That's how in touch they are with the people. Let's go ahead and focus on illegal immigrants' families and talk about how we can keep their families together as we're destroying American families and tearing those apart. Let's go ahead and focus on that. I think this is a good time. That's how dumb these folks are. I think this is a good time to go ahead and do. No, what they're saying is we better hurry up and try to pass this crap before we lose. That's what they're saying. We don't have time to worry about what the Americans are thinking. For the polls, they got right now we can't deal with that. Right now, we got to make sure these folks become American citizens somehow real quick, so they will continue to vote for Democrats. That's what they're doing.
They
what
like
about
what
detention?
Trump is saying
But Scott,
about cracking down on illegal immigration.
What about detention camps and mass deportations? What about that?
God. What about that, Jim? That's what I want to know. What about that? Detention camps and mass deportations. What do you want us to do with these people, Jimmy? That's what I want to know. And what do you think the detention camps are going to be like? Huh? Get them in there, make them slaves, whip them? Or is it going to be a place where they say, sit tight, hold on. Here's your deportation date. Here's where you're going. And adios, amigo, and peace. Don't come back. Is it going to be that? Or should we just let them meander about the whole country until they show up on their own for their deportation? What a dummy. Anyway.
Mass deportations has majority support in the United States and among Hispanic voters right now. It's recent polling. You can look it up.
No.
It is at Maria. It is absolutely true. When you get on.
Not true. There we go. We got a person, an example of somebody falling off of the cliff, and it's inevitable, but they're screaming no. All the facts is in. You're not going to survive this. You're falling. Yeah, you can't fly. But your response to that is no. You can scream no all you want, but it's not going to change the facts. So here she is. No.
Off the air, and you Google it, you're going to be embarrassed, but it's absolutely true.
I will send you the actual polling from pollsters who actually know how to poll on this
You're
issue.
You're going to be embarrassed.
I will send this to you.
There's the polling right there on CNN.
CBS poll, 53%.
I have issues with that poll.
I got issues with that poll because it doesn't fit my narrative. I want to see Biden get up there tomorrow, if he can remember those percentages, and try to justify why his border policy allowed so many people to come in to where folks got turned off by this. And now 53% of Americans are going, we don't want to just stop illegal immigration. We want to send these folks back. We're now all xenophobes. We're all xenophobes, I guess.
Because of exactly what I'm saying. But I do want to, in the election, if he could stir up Senator
Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, So Pocahontas is out there trying to defend this immigration issue too and make excuses of why it's so damning to Biden. I wonder how Biden's going to address this tomorrow.
Let's talk about President Biden. I know he wanted that immigration bill to pass, that bipartisan, but there have been more than 6.9 million apprehensions at the southern border. Thus far, in Biden's term, there were just over 2 million in Donald Trump's entire term. What did the president do wrong?
No, this isn't about what the president did wrong. Remember, on the very first...
Yeah, it's not about that. It's not about that. These are happenstances, just circumstances. Just circumstances. Now, first of all, I'm amazed that somebody on ABC is even asking her about this. I guess they just can't deny those polls where they're going, look, man, immigration is a problem. So now she has an opportunity to at least pretend that Biden did something wrong. Now, the lady just told her, under Trump, 2 million the whole time. Under Biden, we got 6 point something million. And here she is, instead of saying, yeah, he probably could have did this differently. She said, it's not about what he did wrong. So what is it about, Pocahontas?
First day that he was sworn into office, President Biden asked Congress both for the resources and for comprehensive immigration reform.
To do what? See, that's what Kev would be asking if I was interviewing her. He wanted resources and immigration reform that looked like what? What would it do? Would it stop illegal immigrants from coming in, or would it accommodate them? Would it make it easier and more proficient? Would it streamline the process, allowing more to come in? You want more money for more judges, more folks to babysit them down there, more folks to process them in, more resources once they get in. That's what you want. And yet Republicans, enough of them, knew that, no, that's what y'all want. Trump definitely know that's what they want. And we know that's what they want. So when they start talking about that he asked for immigration reform and more resources, we're going to do what? Explain what those resources are going to do.
The Republicans blocked it.
Donald Trump didn't have that either, Senator. He didn't have that either, and there were 2 million during his entire term.
Until last fall, the president tries to deal with the problem that is presented to him. He can't deal with it.
She didn't address that. Went right past that. Trump didn't have that either. Next excuse, please. But that he didn't have. But wait a minute. You said that they blocked them until when? A couple weeks ago? Because we've been hearing for 3 years, can't do nothing. Can't do it. Can't do nothing. Congress got to act. Now all of a sudden, about 3 weeks ago, the election's coming up and you know what? I'm going to take the unprecedented, opportunity to take things into my own hands since the Republicans won't act. I'm going executive orders that did nothing. But at least all of a sudden, he got the revelation that, hey, he could do something, even though he didn't do anything except for virtue signal. So what is she talking about?
If Congress and the Republicans continue to block him. And so the president is using the tools available to him, both to create border security, but he doesn't have the resources because the Republicans are blocking access.
Oh, we got the resources. The resources is the laws on the books. The resources, Trump didn't have all these resources. You don't need all of this extra money and resources if you use the money you have accurately. If you have laws on the books to stop this mess. Trump had those. He was doing the best he could, even though he was being fought. So he used his executive authority at least to plug the leak. And the illegal immigrants got the hint. But when Biden got in, know what they got, y'all? T-shirts. Biden, we're coming. Because they saw him go, if I was them, I'd search the border.
But he is president. Understood. I do think you've made your point. But poll after poll, as Matt Rivers just pointed out, say that this is a very weak poll number for President Biden. Trump surpasses him by 17 points in trust and working the border.
I understand that. And I understand that the president is doing what he can with the resources available to him. But you know as well as I do that he can't manufacture more judges. He can't manufacture.
Why do we need more judges? Why do we need more? So that we can go ahead and get them in here quicker. That's what you're saying? You want more judges? Okay. So what else?
More guards.
More guards to babysit them and process them into the country within 72 hours? How about more policies to say, sorry, America's closed. It's closed. Yeah, go back. Put the closed for business sign right down there on the border. They'll get the hint then. Yeah, start showing them that, hey, you could go ahead and waste all $6,000 that you done saved up to come here if you want to. But it's going to be wasted when we put you back on a plane or on a bus and send you back to Guatemala. It's going to be wasted. People will get the hint like, man, I'm not spending money without the guarantee that I'm going to be able to stay. Because under mucus, then we're guaranteed. We got to do something horrific. And even then, we might still be able to stay. Yeah, we might be able to come into the country after getting caught once or twice or 3 times and then commit something horrific before we get extradited out of the country.
Congress doesn't give him the resources to do that. You know, the president is out there doing everything he can, not just at the border, but overall for families.
Okay.
And
You hear that pivot? Now all of a sudden, let me get off this topic because we know that Biden can't win on this. He's going to get ripped tomorrow on this topic.
The action he took in this last week is exactly Joe Biden being Joe Biden. Think for just a minute about what it means for 500,000 families, that little kids go off to school in the morning.
You see what I'm doing, y'all? Tugging on the heart, strings, she's pulling on them. Think about the kids. 500,000 family members. Think about them coming home and not knowing if their pa's gonna be there and their ma is gonna be there. Just think about that. And I'm wondering, think about that lady who had 5 kids and yet she never made it home. Think about that. See, so here she is talking about, think about those families. And I'm going to think about all these American families.
Morning, and they don't have to worry about whether or not mom or dad is still going to be part of their family when they get home.
And what about what about the border that you were so concerned about
All of that.
a couple of weeks ago?
Like, get back on the
first
border.
question I ask you, are you less concerned now?
No, I am concerned about what's happening at the border, and I am concerned that the president, because of Donald Trump and the Republicans.
How can these people fix their lips to even say that? Do you understand how stupid you have to be to believe these people in regards to who's responsible for this messed up border? I'm concerned about because of Donald Trump and the Republicans. Are you kidding me? They're going to try to do it, though. They're going to try to sell it to the American people tomorrow that the border is broke because of because of Donald Trump and the Republicans. And boy, if people believe that, and people will. People will. I should have, when I see people believe stupid stuff like this, I go, boy, maybe being a con man would have had benefits. It'd have had benefits because you got a lot of dumb people out there. Unbelievable, man. But anyway, let's continue though.
Does not have the resources that he needs in order to be able to provide as much help at the border. He's doing
help to do what? She's still not asking the question. Help to do what? Get them in quicker?
Doing what he can with the resources he has available. You know, for me, this is about the contrast between the two. Donald Trump has said, block congressional action because he wants more chaos.
There you go. Now see, now she's going into the stupid comments. Donald Trump said block congressional action because guess what, y'all? He wants more chaos. That's his motive. Try that on for size. Somebody said bullshit. Chief sitting bullshit. You're right about that. So that's Trump's motive, y'all. Block congressional action because you know what I like? I like chaos. I want more chaos down there. Even though I tried to bring stability to that border, even though that was my #1 issue when I was president, and I was always mad at the chaos that I saw down there on that border. Now all of a sudden, my whole goal is to see chaos. That's what she's saying he wants.
At the border. He wants as much division as possible in this country.
There it is. You see how simple that is? Trump is just evil. He wants division in the country. For what? What's his motive? Once again, you're creating an evil villain without explaining the motive. It's hard to believe that the villain is just evil for evil's sake. So now that man just wants chaos and he wants division amongst the people. For what? For what? Once again, poke the hunters. Now, I can see the Democrats wanting division amongst the people because dividing the people gives them an opportunity to pick off the low-hanging fruit and use victimization narratives to manipulate their emotions, like talking about families and coming home to the kids and stuff like that. I can see them using that. I can see them operating in chaos because they don't have good policies. So create a bunch of chaos like hyenas. Now, I can see the motive for those evil villains doing all of that. Their policies suck, therefore create chaos. Misplaced blame. Divide the country and say that the folks that don't want illegal immigration are xenophobic, and the only reason they don't want illegal immigration is because, number one, it's not illegal in our eyes. It's just immigration. It's just immigration. But two, they just don't like people from other countries. That's what it is. See, that right there is a motive for evil villains. But Trump just wants to do it because of what?
He wants to turn us against immigrants who are here, who help support this country.
Immigrants that are here. So wait a minute. Trump wants to turn us against the legal immigrants that are already here? That's what he wants? Yes, I've been here for 20 years. I went through the legal process. Why are you turning against me? We're not. You're good, buddy. You're good. What are you doing, man? I got my papers about 13 years ago. I was in the line. I went through and I said the pledge and everything. I learned some stuff. You're good. We're not talking about you. We're talking about all of these folks walking straight across the border right now. That she's trying to say that Trump's trying to turn us against all these immigrants. No. Trump's trying to simply stop illegal immigrants from coming across that darn border. Poked up. Haunt us.
Country who make it stronger. Donald Trump is doing everything he can to advance Donald Trump and to undercut.
To advance Donald Trump. Just throwing out stuff. That nobody is sitting there going, you're saying a lot of stuff, but you're saying nothing. It's foolishness. So he's advancing himself for what purpose? I mean, he's just jumping on board with this fight against illegal immigration because of how does this advance him? I mean, as a businessman, you would think that it would benefit him like the other business people who lobby you guys to go easy on illegal immigration so that they could benefit off of cheap labor. If Trump was trying to advance himself, maybe he might go, yeah, I can have him working in my hotel. I have him working all on my lawn down at the golf course, paying him under the table. Yeah. I think illegal immigrants, they built this country. We should let them keep coming. Anybody who don't like it is a xenophobe. You would think that's what he would be doing if he was trying to benefit himself. Elizabeth Pocahontas.
The United States of America.
Okay, Senator, I want to
taking the resources available and trying to keep our nation knitted together and trying to give us security and a pathway to citizenship.
I want to move.
Yeah,
we all know the names of too many innocent victims of Biden migrant crime. It's a new category of crime. It's called Biden migrant crime. Remember this: these migrants are tough. They're tough. They come from prisons and many other places, rough places. They're just
now here we go, y'all. Here's Trump joking, tongue in cheek, but the media is sitting there waiting for him to say something that they could go ahead and take out of context and act like Trump was dead serious. Watch this.
Country, they're just settling in. Every day I read where somebody was killed. Beautiful young women, mostly young women, being killed by migrants. They thought it was like this wonderful dream. I could just see this, the migrants are coming in. These people are tough. They're so tough. Dana White, did anyone ever hear of Dana White? He's a legend, right? UFC, ultimate fighter, ultimate fighting. And he's a fantastic man. I said, Dana, I have an idea. Why don't you set up a migrant league of fighters and have your regular league of fighters? And then you have the champion of your league. These are the greatest fighters in the world. Fight the champion of the migrants. I think the migrant guy might win. That's how tough they are. He didn't like that idea too much, but actually it's not the worst idea I've ever had.
Maria?
Now, I wonder why the audience was laughing, y'all. I wonder why they were laughing. Because they were taking Trump dead serious? You think they were laughing like, yeah, that's right. We should exploit all the illegal immigrants. Let's go ahead and put them in a cage, make them fight like gladiators. That's what we should go ahead and do. Yeah, that's funny, eh? Right, guys? They were all laughing because they thought Trump was being dead serious, right? Because look at this. These folks are pretending that he was.
Your thoughts? Yeah, when I heard that, Amara, and I don't know why it surprises me because it shouldn't, because it's Trump, but it was, as an immigrant, it was so gut-wrenchingly hateful and xenophobic.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And it just underscores just how unfit Donald Trump is to hold another 4 years in office.
You'd seen the Trump campaign talking about mass deportations. We tested that in a general way in principle. Would you support a new government program that would deport all people living in the U.S. illegally? And that finds majority favor. That finds 6 in 10. It's strongest among folks who are MAGA. It's strongest among Trump supporters, but also from some Democrats as well.
As he's trying.
Ooh, I wonder if that's the poll she says she don't like. Is that the poll? She said, no. That's that. I take issue with that poll. Is that the one?
Trying to convince people outside of his MAGA coalition that he actually wants them to support him. He's never going to be able to do that with these horrific racist comments that he's making. And he seems to enjoy what he's saying. And yes, it riles.
They just sling racism out there like it is nothing. Horrific racist comments. What was racist about what he just said? That's my question. Did he name just Latinos, Argentinas, the folks from the Arab countries? He's just talking about illegal immigrants, period. That could be any, Russian, Chinese, you name it. But here she is trying to make it seem like these are racist comments and stuff like that, just because he's talking about these immigrants are tough. And hey, why not let him go ahead and scrap it out in the UFC?
Also, his MAGA base, because they are as xenophobic as he is, as a Latina and as an immigrant.
And as a dummy,
makes me want to throw up. To tell you the truth.
So let's see how an American citizen feels about what the Democrats are doing overall. Listen to this black guy right here in this little box right here that said he has something to say. All right.
May I just make a quick statement? It won't be long.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I just want to say that, I've been listening to the conversation about who is better under Joe Biden, under Trump. What has been the case, what is true, is that Joe Biden, Trump, neither one is really offering us much. Only one of those people has been in office for almost 50 years, and that's Biden.
Oh, okay. So for a minute, I was about to get upset, like, whoa, bro, what are you talking about? Now, I do think Trump is offering us much. But now he said one has only been... So one been in office 4 years, one been in office 50 years. Where you going with this, brother?
So if things were going to get better for us under one of the two, one of them had ample time to do it and has not done it, and that's Biden. Number two, and these are facts, and I want you to prove me wrong.
No, not facts. Not facts. That right there is like holy water. Don't do that, man. That's like throwing salt on a snail.
Trump first achieved the lowest unemployment rate, the lowest poverty rate for blacks on record. I didn't celebrate then because it wasn't enough then. But I find it funny how people want to celebrate Biden building upon that. If we couldn't celebrate it because it was insufficient under Trump, then it's insufficient under Biden. Number three.
Oh, man. So what he's saying, y'all, is that, yeah, Trump got it down low, but I wanted it even lower. Now Biden comes along and is garbage. And folks trying to say, look what he's doing for black folks. So wait, you hated it under Trump. Anything Trump did for black people wasn't good enough for the fake news and the Democrats. Yeah, they tried to block all kind of stuff that he was trying to do for black folks. But they swept down, they loved black folks. They didn't care about black folks at all under Trump because they're going, anything he does for black folks, one, undermines the narrative that he's a white nationalist and a racist and hates black people. Two, it makes black people say, maybe he's not that bad. And it gives him a record to say, look what I've done for black folks. So they're like, no. We got a patent. We got a patent on all the black folks. So whatever you got to do for black folks, then we're going to hate on it. So now this guy's saying, hey, man, Joe Biden been in there 50 years and they did nothing.
I get a little tired of this vote. They're going to take away our right to vote. They say they want to take away our right to vote. And then they say in order for them not to take away our right to vote, we need to come out and vote. So which one is it? If they're taking away our right to vote, then how is it that they're telling us to vote harder?
Now that's pretty logical right there. They're taking away your right to vote, and I'm going, how? But you want us to come out and vote for only you guys, though. For only you guys.
In Georgia, I'm right by Georgia. I'm in South Carolina, right by Georgia. They actually saw a higher turnout rate after 4 years of Trump than they did before him.
In spite of all that voter suppression, bro? In spite of them not giving those black people bottles of water and snacks while they were standing in that line, in spite of Jim Crow 2.0, you're telling me they came out in bigger numbers in spite of them disenfranchising black folks, and folks can't go get no ID and don't know how to find a BMV and stuff like that. In spite of all of that, wow. Do the Democrats know that? Because they're still out there talking about disenfranchising black folks and other minorities.
That is fact. No one talks about the other act of voter suppression that is happening in this nation, like DC, like California.
Uh-oh. What kind of voter suppression are you about to talk about, man? I mean, is it the racist kind? Is it the kind that the Democrats been saying that don't exist? Or is it the kind that the Democrats are creating?
They're giving illegal immigrants the right to vote, something that should be sacred, something that should only go towards American citizens. My great-grandmother died at age 101. She was born in 1914. She fought for the right to vote, and they're giving it to people who just hop across the border, who come here with Black American hate. That's a voter suppression. They're giving people who just came to this nation the same voice as they're giving us. And those people are not going to vote our rights. They're going to vote for their own self-interest.
Wow. Now, isn't that interesting that this guy right here is able to see that? That's the real voter suppression. Suppressing our votes by mixing in the votes with illegal immigrants. Do you think they're going to come in and vote for the economy and American jobs? You think they're going to vote for a person that is going to bring back good, stable American jobs when all of the jobs seem to be catered towards illegal immigrants and open borders and stuff like that? They're going to vote for things that benefit them, not Americans. And it's disenfranchising our vote as they do everything they can to get these people to vote. So that's the real voter suppression.
They dilute our voting power. That's the true voter suppression. And I've been hearing about this Project 2025. To me, it just sounds like more fear-mongering. But I always used to ask people, stop telling me how much worse things can get. Show me how much better things can get. For the past 60 years, we have been voting as a captured electorate for the Democrats. That is a fact. 90% of our land is gone. Our wealth is heading backwards. We own either the same amount of homes we owed during Jim Crow or we owe less. These are irrefutable facts.
Oh, and you can't get with that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can't get with them facts. So those are facts. Wait. He's about to hit us with the landing, y'all.
After 60 years, I don't want to hear about how bad the Republicans are. I want to see how good you are. I want to hear about how good you have been, and you have not been good. And if they're doing a Project 2025 that's supposed to scare me, where are the Democrats' Project 2025 for freedmen?
Oh, and he's talking about the Democrats, because, you know, I like calling them that. The Democrats, I like calling them that. So, yeah, this big bad Project 25 supposed to scare folks. He's like, well, wait a minute. Where's y'all Project 25? Where is y'all plan for folks?
The Black Americans who are descendants of emancipated enslaved. Where is their Project 2025 for us? Talk about all the things they're going to do for us. They don't have one. So I'm not going to vote for you just to keep me, just to save me. I'm going to start asking you, if you always have to save me, why am I always in danger in the first place?
Ooh! Hot! Isn't that ironic? That somehow we just can't seem to get out of danger when it comes down to the Democrats. I mean, been in power for all of this time, and every 4 years, black folks and other minorities are in danger from the big bad Republicans and the white nationalists. And I'm saying we're constantly in danger. Constantly, y'all always trying to save us. I mean, you know, y'all can't get us to a point where we don't have to walk around scared for the white man that's going to come in and just like that. Well, the reason they're not going to come in and save us because they can't. They're the ones that created the problem. They're the ones that created the narrative that we're all in danger. They're the ones that dropped the psyop on the minority community, that they have to be walking around looking over their shoulder constantly from the boogeyman. That's a part of their strategy that I was talking about earlier when it comes down to a motive to divide the country. How you gonna keep black folks and other minorities voting for you when you got open borders, high inflation, raggedy policies, violent neighborhoods, education is garbage? How you gonna keep them voting for you without, manipulating them and saying, well, it's because you're in danger from other people, not us. Not us who run your cities and your neighborhoods. Not us who's dumping illegal immigrants in your neighborhoods and taking resources from you. It's other folks that have you in danger. And it's all mental. That's why you got your Van Joneses and all of them people to come out and drop the psych op on folks and let them know. Y'all remember how bad it was? Not actually, but well, yeah, you should. It was bad. It was bad. We did everything we could on the news to convince y'all that it was bad. Dropped every every thing on billboard line. Trump says this. Trump does this. All the headlines. Trump's this. Trump's white man. Trump's. They created that in the minds of people. So that dude just dropped all kind of knowledge. So guys, we're running out of time. We got about 9 minutes left. And this is the longest show I've done in a couple weeks. I'm going to rock it until 2 hours, and then we're done.
President Trump is knowingly going into a hostile environment on this very network, on CNN, with debate moderators who have made their opinions about him very well known over the past 8 years and their biased coverage of him.
My colleagues, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, have acquitted themselves as professionals as they have covered campaigns and interviewed.
What? My colleagues, Jake Fake Crapper and Dana Trash has now she's talking about Fake Crapper and Dana Trash. She invoked their names, but let's see.
Candidates from all sides of the aisle. I'll also say that if you talk to analysts of debates previous, that if you're attacking the moderators, you're usually losing. What?
Now, she brought up, if you're attacking the moderators, you're usually losing. Now, this woman is going to respond to that statement. And her response to the statement is to do what?
What do you expect from Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, it would take someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently President Trump to Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues.
Yeah, because see, I can go ahead and say that usually people who attack the moderator is usually because they're losing. No, it's because he's Fake Crapper. It's because she's Dana Trash, and I'm going to prove it. So when she goes to prove it and counter what this girl said right here, usually when you attack the moderator, it's because you're losing. Well, she's countering what she said. No, it's not because we're losing. It's because there are facts out there that will show that these dudes are biased. And all you have to do is simply Google Fake Rapper and Donald Trump. She knows that if she lets this woman get that off, it's going to undermine what she just tried to say. She's trying to lay the groundwork to make it appear that Trump's just going to be whining about the commentators and the narrators and the moderators and all of that stuff because he just can't handle the heat and he don't want to deal with the facts and stuff like that because we're biased. Not because we're biased. We don't want our audience to be conscious of the bias that's going to be played out tomorrow. We don't want them conscious of that. And this woman was about to make them all conscious of it by simply saying, just go Google Fake Crapper and Donald Trump. She had to interrupt that immediately, but it got out. So what it ended up doing is making everybody go Google Fake Crapper.
Like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's it. I got to get out of here.
Caroline, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, God. Look at that ugly face. They're happy about this. Look at the Marxists.
But I love the way she handled it. Yeah. Because back in the day, you know, journalists in the days of, like, let's say, Walter Cronkite and
people wouldn't have done that to Walter.
People wouldn't have done that, but or Peter Jennings. You know, you always saw and gave opportunity for both sides. It was what journalism was. I think Lester Holt said it best. Our world is different now. Mm-hmm. We're in the world of
we're in the world of you guys being exposed. That's what the world is different is. We're in the world of the fake news not having a monopoly on information. We're in the world of us being able to combat and expose all your gaslighting, your lies, deception, and all of that stuff. We're in the world of that now, and y'all can't take it. That's why you got to work hard to censor us and suppress our channels and get us removed from platforms and all of that stuff that she's about to support. Unbelievable. So here we go.
Alternative facts as created by our favorite person, Kellyanne Conway. And when he was receiving the Edward R. Murrow Award for Lifetime Achievement in 2021, he said this. He said, I think it's become clear that fairness is overrated. Really? The idea that we should always give two sides equal weight and merit does not reflect the world we find ourselves in.
Yeah, because see, we're losing that. Yeah. See, right now we can't give two sides the same merit because we want our side to only be the side that everybody hears. We've been used to dominating for all of these years, and that stupid old internet and these social media platforms messed that all up. So we didn't anticipate the impact it would have. So now we can't get away with all of the fake narratives we put out there about Donald Trump that we're going to be looking at in a second.
Decisions to not give unsupported arguments equal time are not a dereliction of journalistic responsibility or some kind of agenda. In fact, it's just the opposite. Our duty is to be fair to the truth. And that's
whose truth? See, that's the question, Sonny. Our duty is to be fair to the truth. And the truth is whatever we say. Because it won't set you free. It'll lock you down. That's what it'll do. So Sonny is supporting censorship. All of these folks on this channel. Yeah, they're supporting censorship. Watch this.
That's what she was doing. She was being fair to the truth. She was trying to get to the facts. She refused to get to the facts. She's
trying to get to the facts. And as this woman was about to go ahead and tell the people, go look it up. I'm not just making this up. I'm telling you that fake crapper is biased. All you got to do if you want to get to the truth, but y'all don't even want the people to hear the truth. You don't want them to even go search for the truth for themselves. She didn't even make any quotes. She just said, look, if you don't believe me, just go Google it. That woman couldn't even take that. She didn't even want her audience to go, well, I'm glad that you mentioned that. Maybe I will go Google it. That's how interested that commentator was in the truth. And Sonny here is talking about she wasn't interested in the truth.
Instead wanted to sort of, it was ad hominem attacks. And when that happened, you cut the mic. You cut the mic, and that's what you
did. because that right there is freedom of speech, and that right there is journalism, right? Just cut the mic. You can't go toe-to-toe with them. You can't just simply say, well, you know what? Even though you might feel that way and Trump might feel that way, bottom line, Trump decided to still come on the network and debate, knowing these I guess, his opinion of the moderators. So now let's move on. But instead of doing that, now, you know what? I can't let you even potentially allow our audience to know that we're fake news. So, but if they don't know about it now, they'll never know it.
But he said enough with both sides-ism. When one side lies intentionally and repeatedly, they are no longer entitled to the benefit of the doubt. But he said enough with both sides-ism. When one side lies intentionally and repeatedly,
they are no longer entitled to the benefit of the doubt.
I couldn't agree more. You're a member of Judiciary. Do you believe the president right now has been an agent of the Russians?
Yes, I think there's more evidence than he is. Yes, and I think all the arrows point in that direction. I haven't seen a single piece of evidence that he's not.
An agent like in the 1940s where you had people who were Reds, to use an alternative, like that. In other words, working for a foreign power.
He's working on behalf of the Russians, yeah.
Now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person.
Shouldn't she have lost her job for that? That's what I'm wondering. And shouldn't Fartwell be banished from ever appearing on any news network? That man straight up said he knew without a shadow of a doubt that Trump was working for the KGB like back in the day. Like back in the day. He's taking straight up orders from Putin. All right, what's my next assignment, Pootie? Yeah, just like that. And all of those networks supported that, especially Mad Cow.
A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus. The virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else.
The Trump campaign is accusing Twitter and Facebook of censorship after the social media companies blocked the spread of an unverified story about former Vice President Joe Biden's son and a laptop allegedly full of his old emails.
So none of these networks should ever get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to truth. None of them. Do you know how many times they've been proven to be wrong? Nick Sandman. I mean, the list goes on, guys. Jesse Smollett. The list goes on and on and on. This laptop, the Russia collusion thing. But that once you violate the truth, that you no longer should get the benefit of the doubt anymore. So that means let's get rid of the View completely. Because they lie every single day that they come out on that show. And so do these people.
It's a story raising concerns about whether it's real or just designed to sow confusion in the final weeks of the election.
Yeah. Who do you think is behind this? Well, the Russians would be my number one guess, if I had to guess.
Another echo of 2016, though this time social media outlets were quick to limit the spread of the story. Twitter briefly suspending the accounts of the Trump campaign and White House press secretary after they tried to share it.
And we should keep in mind, too, that the people that need to hear this are the people who are running the networks. That
Now y'all ready for the real dummy? See, Sonny's a dummy, but Sonny is still somewhat smart enough to know she's just a propagandist. Yeah, she's out there just for this one, and the other one with the big nose. They're legit. They're 100% dumb. Listen to her go ahead and try to weigh in and sound stupid. So let's listen to the cushion, whoopee cushion.
And are okaying this because this idea, it's like they say to you now, you can only work within this perimeter. But if the facts are not clear to people, that was what a journalist was there to do.
She wouldn't know a fact if it bit her on her fat butt. Talking about the facts ain't there. The woman who spits out more lies by accident, because see, Whoopi believes the lies. That's the difference. Her and Joy Behar believes this crap. The rest of them, I'm going, like right now as she's talking, they're all over the, and I know they're going, what the heck is she talking about?
Say, in fact, this is what went on and this is how we checked.
So-called
now,
Republican.
we've been given doubts that people don't know how to do this. The media has pretty much always been fair to each side.
What? And do you hear that? They all know this is not true, especially the bootleg fake Republican sitting there. She knows. I mean, all of them know the media is not fair because they get their talking orders before they even go out. Yeah, so what is she talking about? The media has not always been fair.
Now, when we've gone to this place where you only hear this, see, we have to tell you both sides. That's why Alyssa's here. That's why Anna's here.
And that's why Alyssa, the fake Republican, is there. That's why they always get rid of Republicans that really challenge these people. That's why they got two big, fat, fake Republicans right there. The one in the middle, Miss Piggy. Yeah, she's a Republican in name only. And then this one over here. Yeah, but we're getting to both sides, as they always get up there and support every single thing. Then when it comes down to the Democrats' talking points, support all of that.
Because we don't all think the same way. And it's like you all don't think the same way. So you want to hear what other people say. But when they're lying, we can't have it. We can't allow on this show to have things said that we know for a fact are not true.
Wow. Then get rid of the whole show. Right now, first things first, get rid of that coat that is filled with vomit all over it. Look like somebody Ralphed on that coat. Who you think you are, Joseph? Coat of many colors. So here she is out there with that raspy voice talking about we can't have it on this show. We got to. She don't know anything about truth. She doesn't even know she's a propagandist. She's out there really thinks she's fighting and supporting freedom and democracy.
That's what it used to be. That's what it needs to go back to be. And that's where y'all come in. It's okay to feel how you feel, but demand the truth. Demand folks fact check what they're telling you.
Do you think she knows, guys? I mean, see, that's what's special about Whoopi. When I watch her, I could tell it's from the gut. Now, the folks sitting on that stage listening to her probably was going, Whoopi believes this. Does she know we're all acting? Did anybody tell her that we all know this is bullcrap? No? Okay, so let's just sit here and nod along. Yeah. As we're about to spit out another lie right after that. Unreal. So, guys, they were happy about the censorship, especially Whoopi. And she's all about that censorship. So, guys, as we go ahead and end, fake news attacks our judicial system.
Another episode.
If they can't beat Trump with lies and propaganda, they beat him with lawfare. So we now got us a based judge down in Florida. Beautiful, intelligent, woman of color. Immigrant. She checks all the boxes, y'all. All the boxes. Let's see how the media feels about her, because you can't question the judicial system, right? And you definitely can't question it if it's a black, intelligent, or should I say, a woman of color, intelligent, illegal immigrant that checks all the boxes. You really can't question her. So let's see how they feel about her and Jack in the Box in his case against Trump down there in Florida. What are they mad about again?
Episode in the drama of the Donald Trump classified documents case. The focus, Trump's request to throw out some evidence that had been collected at Mar-a-Lago during the search.
Why? Why? You didn't mention why he wants to throw that out? Propagandist? Could it be because the FBI have admitted to manipulating the evidence? Could it be that? I would think the whole case should be thrown out too. Yeah. So instead of focusing on that, look what she focuses on.
Now today, Judge Cannon heard arguments on two other key issues. The first one, another attempt by Donald Trump's team to throw out the entire case. And they argue that this guy, Special Counsel Jack Smith, is somehow
Hey, Gizmo, what are you doing? He must have heard something, dog ears. All right, let's continue.
unlawfully funded. Now, there has not been a decision about that yet. Then shared the prosecution's request for a gag order, arguing that his statements are inciting threats against FBI agents.
Oh, yeah, here we go. The threats against the FBI agents. Everybody's scared for their life. Donald Trump says mean things, and his voters. We have no governor. We have no self-control, no discipline. Everything he says, we're like, did you hear that? Trump said something bad about them, so now we got to go and threaten their life and do something bad. That's what's happening? Or are y'all using these narratives as an excuse to keep Trump quiet, especially knowing he's going into this debate tomorrow? So they're getting a little carried away with the gag orders, aren't they? But that's their style. We just saw CNN drop a gag order right there on the set. And then The View supported gagging folks too. So now they want to gag Trump, and this woman got a problem with all this.
The judge appeared skeptical about that argument. She didn't actually make a ruling, but she did chastise federal prosecutor David Harbach, saying, quote, I don't appreciate your tone. That she would appreciate...
Now that sounds like a strong, confident woman of color to me. But instead, I guess what? She's overstepping her boundaries or something?
Quorum at all times. But, quote, if you aren't able to do that, I'm sure one of your colleagues can take up arguing this motion. Now, prosecutors argue the gag order is needed because Trump's rhetoric is so dangerous, and he's making false statements about the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago, saying that agents were authorized to take him out because of the standard language that's contained in the actual text of the warrant that does allow for the use of deadly force without saying that you want to use it.
That shouldn't even been there. Shouldn't even been an option. Plus, Joe Biden authorized it. But nonetheless, this woman right here is obviously upset with this judge because I detect a little sarcasm in her voice. I don't think she's just reporting the facts. I think this is a hit piece on this wonderful, smart, intelligent woman of color who happens to be an immigrant who came the right way.
Now, Harbach saying, quote, the government is at a loss to conceive why Mr. Trump would say something so false, so inconceivable or inviting of violence to which...
Here we go. So the FBI is that gentle, that delicate. Trump says that the Biden administration authorized deadly force, and yet you got to gag him for saying that because it puts FBI agents in danger. Who's going to go out and find an FBI agent and do something to him because of what Trump said about this gag order? I mean, I don't know where to find FBI agents. I mean, what is it? Thank you. Bullcrap. It's nothing but bullcrap. This is their style. This is one of their tactics to silence folks and put them on the defense by saying, if you criticize me or expose my corruption, you are inciting violence. You're putting my life in danger. Don't recognize our shenanigans, please.
Which Judge Cannon asked, quote, where do you see a call for violence?
Thank you.
Trump's attorney, Todd Blanche.
I love her. I love her, y'all. I love her. Because, see, that's what I was thinking. And that's what most common sense people would think. Where do you see a call for violence? What are you talking about? Just because he said that you think folks are that simple-minded? This is unreal. But we all know this is a tactic that they use.
Arguing what Trump said was purely political. Quote, the attacks very clearly are against President Biden.
Just yet one other example, but just again, something just look at this. It's sort of a real life moment to look at on how disconnected she purposefully is from reality. Is when she says that this man's threats can't impact other people's lives. When this man's threats.
Wait a minute. Is he talking about the judge of color? Is Beaker talking about this woman, strong, independent, successful woman of color who happens to be an immigrant? Is he talking about her?
And his words have led to Nancy Pelosi's husband being bludgeoned nearly to death. And
take this man off the air, because now we can't give him the benefit of the doubt because he just lied. Nancy Pelosi's husband was not nearly beaten to death because of a Trump supporter. It was a crazy liberal living in a bus who Nancy Pelosi lied about and got somebody fired because we found out that Paul was in there with that crazy liberal doing something. We all saw the footage. Door open, holding the hammer together. What are you guys doing in there? Nothing. Okay, well, would you back up and put the hammer down? You want me to put the hammer down? You want me to put the... We all saw it. The lie that she never came out and explained what was that man doing in there and why was Paul in his shorts and why was he so relaxed when he opened that door? Why was he so relaxed? But now Beaker comes out and drops that big fat lie right out there.
His home. It's led to people melting pipe bombs. It's led to
show me the proof.
Just
throw stuff out.
Countless death threats, and people have had to get around the.
Yeah, because Republicans don't get those. Republicans don't get death threats. They don't get all of the foul things that these people say about Republicans. Wanting to kill babies, take away children, rip them from their parents, and they're white nationalists, and they want to stop and roll back all your rights, and all of that they say about Republicans. They don't get death threats. These people are sick.
Clock security. Yeah, I mean, what she's saying is a lie. She knows that what she's saying is a lie, and yet she says it anyway from a position of a federal bench, saying that Donald Trump's threats can't cause any violence or threats of violence. Yeah, I mean, read the newspapers. That's a lie on its face.
Show me. Prove it. Where's all the violence coming from? The left. All of their rhetoric causes loony leftists to do stuff that we've been seeing go on for the last 8 years. And yet here he is. It's a lie. All you got at the Nancy Pelosi's husband and the violence all over the place from Trump. And I'm going to show me. Show me the proof, man. Show me how this is connected to Trump. But nope, they won't do that. Yeah, because they're the fake news.
In fact, you could go to another judge, probably in that same judicial district.
A fake one?
And they would take judicial notice of the fact that Donald Trump's threats often lead to violence or threats of violence.
I am so thankful for this judge, for them to have a judge that is doing her due diligence and is not succumbing to the demands of the fake news and the Democrats who are hypocrites because they praise the judicial system when they went ahead and convicted Trump with that conflicted judge up there in New York and said that Trump has no right to question this judge's motives and his decisions and all of that. And he's not biased and all of this stuff. And he's the most brilliant judge ever. In fact, somebody had a man crush on him. But now when it comes to this judge, who should be bubble wrapped in identity politics, but yet they are coming down on her like she's just a straight cis white nationalist woman.
It's not speculation. We've watched it happen, and you just laid out all the cases in which it has happened. And that prosecutor from the special counsel's office said to Judge Cannon, urging her to act now on this gag order and not to, quote, wait for tragedy to strike. And she said, well, you've got to establish some actual connection between A and B, which I think you just did.
He said he just did by spitting out nothing but lies and accusations with no proof that you got to establish. But yeah, here they are talking about the FBI. We're scared for our lives, even though we have all the power and guns and we can lock up anybody anytime we want. But Trump's rhetoric might put our life in danger. And these people got to go. All these three-letter agencies got to go. And we're going to end with this guy right here, because there he is. That's the one that has the man crush on the other judge. And he got some choice words for the real judge down there in Florida.
Exasperation can happen in courtrooms.
Woody Allen, baby.
Of all the people in an American courtroom to be concerned about tone, in a hearing that's about Donald Trump's potential threatening of FBI agents nationally.
Potential threatening of FBI agents nationally. You hear these paid propaganders. These folks are straight up Mockingbird, CIA, FBI owned, DOJ / Democrat owned propagandists. So now all of a sudden he wants to make it seem like these folks are in danger, and watch this guy accommodating.
Something that most judges have never, ever had to consider, federal judges, they've never had to consider their duty to protect FBI agents nationally. And her worry is the tone.
Now, wait, why isn't he going ahead and talking about this judge like he did Stormy Daniels. This judge came into the courtroom dressed in all black. As her hair cascaded across her robe, she sat down gracefully as she looked across the courtroom, noticing that he's not doing that for her. He's not doing that for her. Interesting.
So that is one of many, many, many signs that she is not up to the task here.
Somebody go stick a sock down Woody Allen's throat and see if we can come up with some bass in the voice. Come on, now say some bass in the voice. So now he just says she ain't up for the task. Why? It's because she's a woman of color.
Seen many judges in high-profile matters and seen how they comport themselves. We all just watched Judge Prashant, who is, that is sort of the platonic.
Now he has to be saying this, believing and knowing that nobody who watches this show besides us who watch it just to expose it have no understanding and common sense that Judge Marchand was a full-blown plant in there as a judge and had every conflict of interest you could come up with. He has to be believing that. He has to be going, man, I'm saying this statement because I'm assuming that only idiots watch our show and they're not able to put that together. But I am, and that's why I'm exposing it before we go. So he is saying the judge that rushed through that had every conflict of interest, whose daughter was making money off of this, who didn't allow certain testimonies to be entered in, and all of that stuff. The guy who constantly was attacking Trump, constantly ready to go ahead and jump on anybody in Trump's on Trump's team. All of that. That guy right there. He's the standard. When he got upset in the courtroom, that's how you handle it. That's how a judge should be. He should take control of his courtroom, but not her.
Ideal of the model.
Did you hear that? You hear Woody Allen? So now you see what the goal and objective is. It is to undermine the judicial system when it doesn't work for them, when they don't control it. And they don't care nothing about whether you're a woman of color, you're an immigrant, you're whatever. It's all about, can we control you? If we can control you, if we own you, if you're paid propaganda, if you're on our squad, then we will bubble wrap you with all of the elements of political correctness. See, then that's when your magical elements of being a person of color, bisexual, gender neutral, whatever you got going on, that's when those apply. But when you step out of line and do what's right, that stuff gets wiped away. You simply get thrown into a category of incompetent, not up for the task, you know what? But thank God for this judge who has courage, because she knows she's going to take some heat from the fake news because they want to rush this mess through and get another bootleg conviction on Donald Trump. And it looks like she's standing in the way of it, along with the Supreme Court. And that's why all of a sudden now they hate the judicial system. It's been co-opted by Donald Trump and his white nationalists and stuff like that. It's hilarious to see it. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for kicking it with me tonight. Yeah, man, we 2 hours and 13 minutes. So yeah, I won't go as long tomorrow. In fact, come to think of it, I forgot the debate's tomorrow. So if y'all don't see me tomorrow, I don't even know what time the debate starts. First of all, the chat then went out. So I don't know what time the debate starts, but I don't have the software to stream it yet like I want to. So I'm probably just going to watch the debate and then we'll talk about it. I might come and do a quick live reaction after the debate. So if you're up and you see your notifications are set and you see the notification pop up, then check me out, okay? Other than that, I will be back Friday, probably with a full dissertation on the debate and the reaction after that, after some of them start pouring in, okay? Other than that, text MAGA to this phone number. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. Follow me on the other platforms. Follow me on my other alternative channel. And I think that might be it. Check out Kevin's Corner Store. And if you want to support the channel, there's links below the video to do that, okay? Now, with that being said, let's get out of here, man. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
This is awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, awesome. Get our hands down, I can see the eights. I can see where we tear up the place, yeah.
Take care.